So it's the final countdown. Whenever we talked about the brand new fragrances that came out a few weeks ago by the House of Zaharoff Zed Creators 3 by TLTG Reviews, aka Ross, Justin and Grace, aka Stay Fresh Productions, and Jordan, also known as somebody I don't want to say because I don't want to get him into trouble with the company that he works for, but the giant connoisseur on YouTube. And they came out with the Zed Creators 3 line. And I told you this is by far my favorite Zed Creators. My favorite fragrance from the whole house is Business Over Pleasure from Zed Creators 1. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be doing my full review now. I'm gonna let you know if my opinions have changed on these, but let's just talk about them. Got a ton of wares out of them. I'm gonna let you guys know. So without further ado, let's get it. What's good, my great smelling dudes? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka FragranceDoud, back at you talking about the brand new fragrances from the House of Zaharoff Zed Creators 3. Again, these are $155 on their site. They are selling out very quickly if they haven't sold out already, so get them before they are gone. There is no samples unless you can find a sample site that bought the fragrances, but I know they have a 3 purchase limit, so those will probably be selling out quickly too. But with that said, this is the Zed Creator line, Zed Creator 3. Before we get into it, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Everybody smash that like, comment below. Let me know what you think of these. If you do want to know, I am canceling my live on Monday, this coming Monday, after I post a video. And on Wednesday at 7 Central or 8 Eastern, I'm going to have Justin and Grace. I'm going to have maybe Grace. Justin and Grace, Jordan, Ross, and George, all on my live stream. If you want to come check it out, make sure that you guys set up your notifications for that. But let's talk about the fragrances. That's what we're here for. And this might be a full review, but I've talked about these a lot this week, so I'm going to run through them pretty quickly just so you guys get a good feel of it, but you're not bored. With that said, we're going to start out with the one I always start out with. This is Seamless Soul by Justin and Grace, also known as Stay Fresh Productions. Again, thank you to Ross for and all of them for sending me their fragrances. I know Ross was kind of the organizer for me, but thank you to all of you guys for sending the fragrances my way. With that said, before anybody says, oh, because he was sent the fragrances, he gets them for free and he's going to talk so good about them, go back and watch my other Zaharoffs that I got for free, and I didn't like all of them. So just an FYI, I like a lot of fragrances from Zaharoff, but especially from the Zed Creators, there was like 3 of 6 that I didn't like. So with that said, Seamless Soul. How does this one stack up to the ones that I did and didn't like? Well, I'm not going to give any history on the fragrances. There's no need for it. I'm not going to do the boxes. If you want to go see that, go see my first impressions. Seamless Soul. This is the signature. This whole line is a wardrobe. One's for cool weather, one's more for warm weather. Even though wear them when you want to wear them, and this one is the signature. This one starts out where you get a little bit of citrus. It's almost like they took like a little bit of citrus medley and squeezed them on top of this nice clean and crisp and juicy apple, like a green apple. It's a very, very beautiful, fruity, citric fragrance in the opening. Brighter, more effervescent, but also have a little touch of warmth and musk underneath it. As you get further into the fragrance, you do get a little bit of spice that starts pulling in, becomes more spicy, more masculine, more spicy, more masculine. And that is the Timber Pepper. And again, it's in its most natural form, which Mon, which is the perfumery, calls jungle essence. But it is the Timber Pepper. And then again, you get that blending together with some musk and some woods that really just makes this really beautiful, almost like blue aromatic, but just bright fragrance that is a signature, absolute staple. Again, it literally gives me like, if you took about 10% of Castley or Bois Imperial by Essential Parfums, again, 10%. It doesn't smell like those fragrances, just like that base. And you put it underneath it, that Timber Pepper, the woodiness, the musk, and you put that underneath the fragrance, and then stacked on top the green apple, a little bit more of that citric blend in the opening, a little bit more of that Zaharoff musk. That is what you get from this fragrance, and I absolutely adore this. This is one of the best, most mass appealing fragrances that has ever come out from this house. So I was shocked because Justin usually makes this more eclectic scents, and while this does still have that unique, eclectic, and eclectic vibe to it, the mass appeal for this was what really shocked me. And I said Grace had a good effect on him, because Grace brought in that full mass appeal that you can wear it in any season. And I'm glad that they really made this blend. For me, it's a any season, any time, day or night wear. So if you're on Fragrantica, you're going to see every button clicked as far as like wearability factor. As far as the performance, this to me is the best performer out of the three. To me, again, I sprayed it on and I could smell it on my skin like a day and a half later. And that was even after taking a shower and scrubbing it. So it's not even that beast mode. It's like above average. Comparable to like YSL-Y, where it's like 6 to 8 feet for the first like 4 to 5 hours, and then it's like a 3-foot scent for the next like day. I absolutely think that it's a great performer, so don't worry about that. I won't talk much more about it, and then we'll get into the next one. The next one by the Giant Connoisseur, also known as Jordan. This is Ibere. Again, he has a history. He's from Nigeria, and so on the box it had the city of Nigeria, a bunch of other stuff. Again, go see my first impression. This is your cool weather banger. As far as the bottle, again, on the bottle, it says the Giant Connoisseur and Zaharoff. This is the one that I'm going to be wearing the most right now, because of the fact that it's 40 degrees outside and it's going to be consistently dropping. Ibere starts out for the first 5 to 10 minutes. Kind of like a sweet powder bomb, where you get tonka, you get pink pepper and nutmeg to give it a little spice and sweetness, and then you get that powder sugar. It's a powder sweetness, and I thought it was going to be a very powdery fragrance. It's not. And even whenever it is powdery in that first 5 minutes, it's like smooth and it's like very beautiful. But my favorite part of the fragrance after that 5 minutes, which again I still like, after that 5 minutes, when the powder starts to not necessarily go away, but it starts to smoothen out underneath this vanilla bean that starts to crawl up. You also get like a little like subtle touch of like a leathery undertone, almost like a cashmere or a cashmere. I really enjoy when that vanilla bean, because it almost becomes more of a balsamic sweet vanillic scent, almost like a little bit more gourmand, and I like that. Again, this is a simplistic scent. Where it doesn't have a horrible amount going on, but with this type of scent, you really don't need that kind of thing going on. Like, for instance, some of my favorite fragrances, Bulgari Aurum, this beautiful vanilla, Noir Ombre, they kind of have similar vibes with the vanilla, the woods, the musk, and then you get that powdery sweetness. This is still going to be a horse of a different color. It's still going to smell super unique in its own right, because, I mean, the high-quality oils, the oils that they're using from Mon, the naturals, it just does a beautiful job with that pink pepper taking the lead. And then, again, you get that powdered sugar vibe, and then you get that nice, beautiful vanilla on top. And, man, 8 to 10 hour scent, easy, cool weather banger. It eats through the cold. It projects nicely. This, if you're looking for a nice vanilla, like sweet but smoothened out scent with a little bit of richness and depth, Ibere is where it's at. Great job, Jordan. You did a fantastic job with that. And then the last one, again, I find this spring, summer, fall, leading summer summer is its main thing. It depends on where you live. I'm just talking about where I live in Pittsburgh. But this is by Ross, TLTG Reviews, Sun-Kissed Island. Has a tattoo work on the back that is actually from his arm, and then the bold letters on the front. This is the one cap that actually has something going on. It's like sandy. So again, I've explained this fragrance 50 times, but I will explain it one more time. When you first spray it on, you get hit with a nice subtle shot of lime on top of a very nice, well-rounded tequila that doesn't smell like you're walking out of a bar, doesn't smell overly boozy, while you can still 100% notice the tequila as it is the forefront player. As you get further into the fragrance, like, well, with that lime, you also do get a little bit of minty tone, like a muddled mint, and then you also do get like a nice effervescent shot of ginger underneath to give it a little brightness and push to the fragrance. As you get further into the fragrance, you start to get like a little bit of a coconut in there, but if you don't like coconut, I don't think that's going to drive you off, because the coconut in this isn't super strong. You start to get more of this kind of aquatic, dry, sandy, woody mix to really add to when that lime disappears after about 45 minutes to an hour. The ginger kind of lays in there, the mint kind of lays under there, and you get, it's more of like that boozy aquatic with that dry, sandy woods that kind of takes the forefront. And this is, again, I said, you could put this in a Macy's and it would sell just as good as most of the other fragrances there, and it would still not smell like any of the other ones there. It has all the mass appeal and wearability of a designer fragrance, while having that high quality and uniqueness of those niche high-end fragrances. This, for us, this is super unique, and it smells great. It has, I mean, I can see why he had this recipe like 2 to 3 years ago. So did a great job. Sun-Kissed Island, I get about 6 to 7 hours, but it seems like every time I wore it, I get like an extra 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Ross did say that once this macerates, you will get better performance, but I'm getting about 6 to 7 hours out of it, which for this kind of fragrance, if I get three hours, I'm fine. And I get 6 to 7 hours, and it's a moderate projector after the first hour and a half. First hour and a half is about 6 feet, 5.5 feet, but after that, it starts to push out about personal bubble, and it stays there until about hour 5, hour 6. But Sun-Kissed Island, this is my favorite as far as for the season that it's made for. But overall, you shouldn't compare any of these, because this is a wardrobe of fragrance. Again, you got your cool weather one, you got your warm weather one, you got your all season one. They dominated this. They absolutely did. There's a reason why they're selling so fast. Go buy yours if you haven't. $155, 2 ounce. If you're on the fence, I would still go buy it, because after you buy it, when they sell out, you'd be able to resell it for like double that in a year. So just an FYI. So that is the Zaharoff Zed Creators 3.0. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. And again, thank you to everybody who was involved, and I will be back with another one. Peace out.